Hey guys, hello. Hello everyone. Let this notification get out. We're not going to be on long, so hopefully, hopefully you all get the notification quickly. Let me get over here on the other side. Just make sure it's gone out. All right. Hello. Okay, so for those of you watching the replay, I understand that y'all weren't quite expecting me to come on this time of night, on a Sunday night. But I wanted to get this information out there. If you notice, kind of tongue-in-cheek, I've got the breaking news music on. Anyway, so I changed that. I wanted to talk about the fall equinox. Happy birthday, Libra. First of all, happy birthday, Libra. And I wanted to chat about the fall equinox as well as some of the other placements that we are seeing right now and energies that we're seeing. So, as most of you know, the equinox happens on Monday, specifically at 2:50 a.m. Central Time, 1:50 a.m. Eastern Time, and 3:50 a.m. Eastern Time. I went the wrong way. 3:50 a.m. Eastern Time, and then 12:50 a.m. Pacific Time. But there are some interesting other stellar things happening. It's interesting because this is coming into a pretty clean new moon. Like when we get into the new moon energies tomorrow, we'll start talking about those tomorrow. The skies are kind of clear, so that's telling me that it's coming into. Hey, Christy. This is coming into a time where you can't really miss the message. You got to be trying to miss the message as we come into this Libra new moon here on the 28th, okay? But the start of this, all the planets kind of clearing up and getting into position. So with a very clear directive starts with the fall equinox. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do, I'm going to do a couple of things here. We're going to do that, but give me one moment. Well, I don't have to be on. All right. Hey, Sagittarius, how you doing? So let me just do one more thing. Let me talk to you guys about one more really quick thing. And today, the 21st, today's the 21st, today's the 22nd. Today's the 22nd. Yesterday on the 21st, Jupiter squared Neptune, which is in retrograde. And this is I call it the last home stretch for Neptune's retrograde. Because Neptune, because of being an outer planet, it takes so long to get around the sun. Neptune's orbit is very lengthy. So when we're coming into the last we're in the last 2 months of Neptune's retrograde. So Neptune will be, in Pisces. So it's been in retrograde for a while. We've had a very lengthy time to examine how we're feeling about our own dreams, how we're feeling about our own spirituality, how we're feeling about our own, what religious or esoteric beliefs, how we're going to move forward with the dreams that we've had. How real are they? How realistic are they? Hey, Nini. All of that. Nini, did you get your Patreon reading, by the way? You should have gotten an email for your Patreon reading. So this is where we're at, right? Like we've had a very, 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 very long time to do the self-examination and to do the work. So we're in this home stretch, and so 60 days out now, Jupiter is now squaring Neptune, and so we're going to get into that in just a second. All right, let's get back to our chart. Let me get my little drawing tool and let's talk about this. All right. Get my drawing tablet. At some point I'll show all this to you. All right, there we go. This is the astrological chart for the Fall Equinox on September the 23rd, 2019 at 2:50 a.m. Central, 3:50 a.m. Eastern, and 12:50 a.m. 12:50 a.m. Pacific. Well, thank you so much. Hey, Turner. You can barely hear me. Well, that's strange. Can everybody hear me, or where are we at? I haven't done anything different. Okay, here we are. September 23rd. Okay, let me go here. So here we have, what is a fall equinox? What is an equinox or a solstice? That's crazy. I've got like things happening down at the bottom there. Okay. So what is a fall equinox or a solstice? It is when, well, the equinoxes are when day and night are equally as long. When day and night are equally as long. So if we notice over here, we've got the sun on the 23rd. It's still kind of 0 degrees Libra. Here we are, right here. And so it is at the equator, or equally, there's going to be an equally as long day as there is a long night. Okay? So just that, let's just assess that energy in and of itself. You have as much time during the day with the luminary, with the main luminary of the sun, as you do at night with the lunar luminary, or the reflection of everything that you have been going through today. So you have just as much time to contemplate and look at and rearrange as you do at night, to really sit and think and let it settle, and let your heart speak to you as to how you really should be feeling about this, or what you wish to do about whatever the situation is at hand. So this is what we have coming up. Tomorrow is the equinox. Yes, I am just like a new moon. I've got all these phases going around. So tomorrow, this is what tomorrow is really signifying, or in a few short hours, really, right? About 6 hours from now, this is kind of where we're at. At the same time, I want you to pay attention to the fact that we also have the moon and the North Node, the lunar North Node in Cancer, transiting right now. What a beautiful time to just take a breath and reflect on home, hearth, things that are very, very important to you, things that are near and dear to your heart. People, as they're interacting with you, are they interacting from a space of integrity and purity? Are they assisting in the growth of your very nuclear energy and nuclear area? Are they that, or is it more to it, right? Is there more to this? Is there, can we really look at things and see how we've been doing them, and more importantly, see where we can go? Because remember, North Node, what is that North Node about? It's all about moving forward, right? It's all about growth. It's all about forward movement, growth, not doing things the same way we always have been. And a lot of times we can get into a kind of a crazy ritual, kind of a crazy routine at home, right? We do the same thing every day, all day long, 5 days a week, and then on the weekend we do the same things on the weekend. So how can we kind of disrupt that for our greater good? So that's that energy that we have right now, which is really important as the North Node then begins to come into a square with the Sun, because the North Node is going to remain in Cancer. So us wanting to do things and change things and all of that, it's actually going to square the Sun in Libra, which is cardinal. So it's all about communicating that change, and we're probably going to feel a little bit pushed, a little rushed in order to do that. But we'll talk about that another time. We also at the same point have, let me make a different color. We also at the same point already in Libra, we have Mercury and Venus. And Mercury is being that runaway bride, right? Both of them are extremely happy to be in Libra. Can we just say that? Happy. Venus is happy to be at home, really wanting to chill, not wanting to move that fast, but she's a fast moving planet. And then we have Mercury. Oh, I'm in an air sign. Oh, I'm in a cardinal air sign. I can speak my mind on a regular basis. How wonderful is that? Notice, however, that is, here we go, Mercury and Venus in Libra is in direct opposition to Chiron. We haven't talked a lot about Chiron in Aries. Not direct, within a few, it's kind of like a little bit outside the orbit in just a generality. It's close enough. It's kind of coming out of a direct opposition. So that's kind of like our ego, right? Chiron is our ego. Chiron is past hurts, past pain. Chiron is our past. And Chiron is all about sacrificing self. Like sometimes having to let go of the pain in order to allow ourselves to actually die. Right? Because look up the story in the mythology of Chiron. He was eternal. He got hit with a poisonous dart, I believe it was. And because he was eternal, he couldn't die. So he asked the gods, he was a centaur, but he was a different centaur, different type. He asked the gods to let him die, to take away his immortality so that he could release the pain. So Chiron is all about pain release. Hey Kaza, hey Dawn, hey Maria, hey Mary. So yeah, Mary, we'll try to do better, but this was the size of the chart I could get. You might have to go full screen or watch me on your TV. So we have in Libra, the relationship area, we have this beautiful Mercury and Venus and then here we go at the equinox, the Sun entering in. Oh my gosh, how wonderful is this, right? At the equinox, right? So we have all of these great energies, these personal planets, and it's basically in opposition, but, encouraging us to let the pain go so that we can live a true life, or just to let the pain die, period, so it doesn't keep affecting us for an eternity. All right? It doesn't keep affecting us for an eternity. So, I want to talk about this other that's happening here too. We've got Saturn and Pluto and the moon's south node in direct opposition to the moon. Well, Saturn specifically in direct opposition to the moon and the north node, sitting on top of that darn south node. What is that saying? Oh boy, it's time, right? This is really, we're feeling the slowdown of change, right? We've been having all this change between these two right here. Pluto influencing Saturn. Saturn is about to catch up to Pluto and be completely conjunct to Pluto very soon, and we're going to talk about that in the very near future. And Pluto is about to go direct on 10/3. So Pluto is nearing, Pluto being up here, Pluto. Oops, not this one here. Pluto is nearing the end of its retrograde season in Capricorn, and it's about to go direct. So guess what, guys? All of this, showing us where we need to change, kind of showing, and really bringing it, saying, we need to transform, but I'm going to park myself here just for a little bit longer and give you an opportunity to figure this mess out. It's about to say, okay, time's up. Time change. Let's get it moving. And this is even giving us a really nice, easy energy, easier, right? It's comforting energy. It's, yes, the North Node wants you to change. Yes, the moon's saying how you're feeling about it, but it's being gentle about this rather than being like forceful. Well, Pluto's about to get super duper forceful here. As well as now Saturn's already direct. So as these two converge and the South Node continues to go through Capricorn, the impetus or the necessity or the need to change and some foundational energies is going to be that much more important. So on this equinox, these are all things we need to be thinking about. What is it that's really been bugging the crap out of us that we feel like we need to change? Where do we need to make moves? Where do we need to release people? Where do we need to release feelings? Because remember, we are all in Libra season. What do we need to be talking about? Who is in our lives right now that is evolving us, that is making our lives better, that is beneficial? And who in our lives is not? And are we communicating our needs? Because sometimes maybe we feel like some people are not beneficial, but we're not communicating properly our needs, setting proper boundaries, and letting the other person understand our standards or our desires, and then not listening to them as to what their standards, their desires, their needs are. So this is all, and granted, here we go with kind of this self-sacrifice too, with Chiron in opposition. So we're probably feeling a pull, like, I know I need to have that talk, but I ain't trying to have that talk right now. And you may hear some stuff from your significant other or from friends or from family or from co-workers or what have you that's basically showing you about yourself, because we do have the sun in this mix, being the luminary that it is. And please try not to get into your feels about it with this moon in Cancer. It's a waning moon, so this is a time to release. This is the time to release our emotions about these types of situations and not hold on to them. Waning moons, as we're coming into the full moon, guys, is a time to really finish, new moon, excuse me, it's a time to really finish releasing all the rest of the stuff that the full moon was saying, yep, it's time for us to release, it's time for us to move on. This is the finishing up of all of that, right? Now, let's talk about the granddaddy here that I was shocked about, and that is this Jupiter Neptune square. Oh boy. Jupiter is having its little last hurrah over the next month or two in its home sign of Sagittarius. It's going to go out with a bang before it's got to go into Capricorn, right? Because it's going this way. It's going into Capricorn. It's not going to like being restrained in Capricorn. Not that big, gigantic energy. What this is doing for us, and here we have Neptune here, still in retrograde, holding on in its home sign, saying, I'm ready, I'm liking chilling here, I'm cool chilling. Can we live a little longer in our dreamland? Please and thank you. Can we live a little bit longer in dreamland? After all, it is still somewhat sextiling both Saturn and Pluto, right? It's still sextiling Uranus in Taurus. So I'm going to make a connection here. Oh yeah, we might have a T-square here, because, well, that's a sextile. Anyway, so what this Jupiter square Saturn in retrograde is saying, it's basically forcing you at this point to look at your dreams It's forcing you to look at that dreamland. It is forcing you to look at your spirituality. It is forcing you to look at, are you truly connected to source? It is forcing you to look at, are you really giving yourself the opportunity to grow, to become awakened? It's forcing you to look at your awakening process, to look at your awakening status, awakened status, I should say. It's forcing you to look at how you're dealing with manifestation. It's with illumination, are you working on your spiritual gifts? What are you doing? Are you aligning your chakras? It's forcing you to say, are you doing it? And if not, can we please get going? Can we please get it moving? Because there needs to be the clearing and a very clear channel open. I'm telling you, on the 28th, when I looked at the chart, I was just like, are you serious right now? This new moon chart is so clear. It's plain. And right now, Jupiter's trying to make us see things bigger. See it bigger. Don't see it small, see it big. Don't see it small, see it big. And that's what it wants you to do. It wants you to get the grand idea, the grand notion, the grandness of the grandeur, right, of spirituality and your own individual spirituality by this being in retrograde. 1, 2, 3. So it is, and all the while it is at this point now sextiling in a good way. Right? Mercury and Venus. So it's giving you the opportunity to grab onto great internal love, great internal peace. It's saying, yep, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. All the while still saying, but I need you to look at the deep things, the things of the depth, the things that you don't want to see. This might be a good time to also, with kind of these easier energies here, to also look at the things that one would call like that dark night, right? The dark night of the soul. Take a look at the pain and the hurt, right? Like we have over here with Chiron. Take a look at that pain and see, like, should there be pain we're supposed to be releasing, for Pete's sake? Because it's trining Chiron, almost, right? It's close enough for government work. It's a close. So it's basically giving us an opportunity to let go, giving us an opportunity to reset the clock, to rewind, to say, it's time for me to release. So let me turn our music down a little bit here. Really, this was kind of a breaking news kind of thing for me. I didn't want to be on here long because the equinox is, it's one day, it's a reset time, it's a change of season. We're coming into the last half of the zodiac year. And as we come into the zodiac year, the last half, the last 6 months, the last 6 cycles, signs, this whole year has been such an upheaval of change. It's been an upheaval of attitude. It's been an upheaval of, well, how do I really view especially my relationship with source? How do I really view my relationship up top? How do I see myself? What is my understanding of things of the spirit? What is my how do I view religion? How do I view how I bring certain things into my own life? How do I view and how can I change it? How can I change my life and not go by the same exact patterns? How can I disrupt the pattern so that I don't have to go through the same thing all the time, over and over and over and over again? There has to be a better way. And when we get into those modalities of thought, when we get into that, like, what is my purpose thought as well, it forces us to really acknowledge what is beyond us, that there is something greater than us. And then we seek to find out how to work within it. How do we work within the new world that we're creating? And so this equinox is it's a time for that. It's a time to say, these are the ideas, thoughts, desires, whatever I've had. This is how I've previously looked at it. These are my foundational beliefs, but I can no longer adhere to them. They have to be transformed because I've done it this way all the time and it doesn't work. I keep getting the same results. So it's time for me to change things up. Now, some of us have already been doing a lot of this changing. So for us, this is like, what's next? But what I want you to take the opportunity to do, tonight, if you meditate at night or tomorrow morning, or if you meditate in the morning, whatever. But during this next 24 hours or so, and when you're meditating, I want you to really think about and assess, where are you? Where are you on your awakening journey? Where are you on learning how to keep an open line to the fifth dimension through your spirit, right? Through your crown chakra. Where are you on understanding how to really focus in and hone in on that which you seek to manifest through your third eye chakra? Where are you in seeking to understand how to bring that which you desire from the fifth dimension into the third dimension? And where are you in the process of letting things go, of letting go of the process, and understand that there's going to be lessons to be learned along the way, but that doesn't mean it won't happen? Where are you with getting other people out of your life that are not assisting you? They are not helping you grow. And I'm not going to say they're necessarily toxic, but the toxic people too. But where are you in getting the people that are keeping you stagnant? Because stagnant water turns to toxic water. Stagnant water turns to toxic water. Right? So where are you with removing the stagnant areas of your life and getting going? And are you still buying into your dreams? Are you still a believer in yourself? Are you still able to see that there is a most excellent life that is awaiting you? It's not perfect, and it's not without its ups and downs, because we need that to grow. We need to overcome obstacles to grow. But where are you with it? Right? That's the very question. And as you go through that and you answer those questions, there's no shade, there's no guilt, there's no shame. It is what it is. Now let's pick up from here and move forward. Okay? It's a necessity now. It's a necessity for you to be able to see yourself as a fifth dimensional being and higher, right? As a spiritual being living a human experience. It's very necessary for your own survival. All right. I'm going to get going, guys. I told you I wasn't going to stay on here long. We've been building the studio, and I've been buying stuff. My Pisces has been building. Soon we'll have that. So it's been a bit of a busy weekend. So I appreciate you guys, your patience and understanding with my, just kind of popping on and popping off. Thanks to everybody watching the replay. I really do appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that was here for the live broadcast. And we'll be back on tomorrow. Oh, definitely we'll be back on tomorrow. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you so much. Namaste. Bye-bye.